have to say is how incredibly honored it's been to work with all of you, all of us at Insurgo, everyone in the audience is coming out, all of the amazing talent all around town. First of all, just a big thank you and a big cheers, toast to everyone here.
Well, that's a deep one. I guess my favorite memory was when, even I wasn't there, was when Gia went to the glass door.
The ceiling tiles, I had to take them down, give them to Sunil to paint, and then put them back up. Well, she kept giving them to me wet, and so every time I went to pick them up, they would snap apart. Then she would yell at me, tape them up, repaint them, and I would do the thing over again, and they would snap in half again.
My favorite memory, besides running into the glass with Insurgo?
Yes, with Insurgo.
Doing shows without Sarah Spraker.
Okay. Okay.
No, but seriously, Othello was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think my favorite was when we were rehearsing and Sarah wasn't there because she had some other important show to be in. We were rehearsing for Tommy's Divas, and as the girls were on stage, this ugly tranny opened the back door and looked in and asked what in the hell we were doing and what was going on in here, while the girls were all in their superhero costumes. And no one responded for a good minute until Denda yelled at the lady to get out. That was my favorite, and when John Bean told me in my first Insurgo show, we had to work on my fuck face, and I got pressed up against a door like that while everyone stood outside and watched me get pounded from behind by Eric Amblack. Always hired an interpreter.
It's hard to pick just one because there's been so many good ones.
Oh God, what a yearbook! A yearbook quote.
No, I'm sorry, but I can't take all the shows, seeing the different shows, hanging out with people, getting to meet some fantastic talent, getting to be friends with some of the good talent, seeing people who write, who act, who direct in all their different roles, and we're just here to support everybody. And we heart Insurgo.
Oh, that is cute.
That is a real heart.
That is,
Chambers in an aorta.
that is amazing. Yeah.
Hedwig?
Shooting, photographing, Sammy singing Love Life during dress rehearsal. It was a great time to get great angles. I was down on the floor with him. I invite all to take a look at some of the shots on Facebook. If he had a better voice, he'd be a great rock singer because he's got the emotions, he's got the facials.
Staying up all night painting that set.
My memories are all implanted. But if I had to choose, I would say the time in the space when I was sleeping and a homeless man came in and offered me a cigarette.
Wow, my favorite memory in Insurgo this past 6 months was probably when I was naked in the bathroom.
Being stabbed by Hackler and McClanahan repeatedly for Cannibals.
Opening night of Murder Party was really...
That was it.
First night.
Where did Cannibal?
It's a lot.
First Insurgo show. Fell asleep at the wheel after the opening night of Henry V and crashed my Jeep. Woo! What we give for what we love, right? What we give.
What we give.
Just the entire run of Hedwig was fantastic. It's the best experience of my life.
Cannibals to start with, that's where we started. Was 6 months ago. I was standing next to Brandon outside of Cannibals when John Bean walked up and said, I got the space. 6 weeks later, we were sitting in the space watching Murder Party. Othello was in rehearsal, and I went into shock because they had put together one play, got it on stage, built a theater, had a major Shakespeare piece in rehearsal that opened 2 weeks later, all in 6 weeks. And I was there for all of that, watching it. Matter of fact, I helped carry some of the crap in. But yeah, it was just the fact that they pulled it off. They have had nothing but good shows. I have never been to one yet where I felt like halfway through I want my money back. I have been to their individual stuff, some Shakespeare stuff, the new stuff. Let's Play Version of Othello. I haven't seen some of their older stuff that they did before. But and sex comedy, superhero diaries, and then probably it's a draw between Rambus and Hedwig as what's next best compared to Cannibals. Cannibals is the best. That'll always be the best for us because that's what hooked us up with it.
Dude, the day we finished painting all this place, man, it went from like a big empty white room to like what we have now.
Of course, when I was connected.
Coming in here when there's nothing in here. Bare empty stage. There was no stage. Big fucking pole in the middle of the room and dirty ass carpet. We auditioned for Othello. Shakespeare.
Oh, you know what I love is that I was at the very beginning meeting at the Artisan when John Bean came to town. I was directing him in the pilot hour, and he had a meeting of all the minds, the theater minds in the town, the people that he wanted to work with, and he said, look, I'm new to town and this is what I'm going to do. Not, this is what I want to do, this is what I'm going to do. And from that moment, I was on board. I just met Brandon Jones. Our circles are like this. We never met.
Never met.
3 people tonight that are like that, so thanks for having me as part of the family.
I think someone needs to get this on camera. Can you hold that? Record that?
So has anyone done you yet?
Hi, I'm Brandon Jones. Nice to meet you. We should hug.
I came to a No Shame and I got to do a comedy sketch that we'd written it 10 years ago and never got to do it, so I got to do it. It was fun.
Hedwig.
Okay, my favorite memory was when I got a text message from John asking me if I wanted to be the photographer's assistant in Murder Party.
Oh.
Then I was like, oh my god, he has my number? He wants me to be in a show? I have 3 lines, and that's the most exciting thing in the world.
Superhero Diaries.
We were practicing at 1:30 in the morning.
Okay.
And there was a stalker that thought Stacia was hot because she was in her tight little outfit. So he would walk back and forth past the door, but the best part was he was getting closer and closer every time. So one of the times we're rehearsing and we turn and he's at the glass. And Stacia screams. It was fantastic.
You saw that tranny giving that guy a hand job.
And I saw, at the same night I saw a tranny giving a guy a hand job. It was fantastic.
In the Superhero Diaries, my involvement with that, and it was fun. My Beatty's cod piece was really odd.
Odd
and big.
Okay.
Very big.
Pray Othello. Who can count them all? Yeah.
That was my favorite memory.
Thank you. That was totally unscripted.
Anytime singing during Love Labors was amazing. And then
He's so flustered.
Murder Party, like when the woman threatened to call the police on me when I was screaming outside, that was nice.
Okay.
That was a good moment. When Gio broke that fucking door from running right into it, that was funny.
Ernie Curciao's play Rambus, and a wonderful performance by a young actor named Brandon. That guy was amazing. But I really do, I really thought that was, honestly, I thought that was one of the best pieces of work I've seen Insurgo or any theater company in Las Vegas do in the last 3 or 4 years. It was great. It was really good.
Oh my god, the pressure, Brandon!
Besides Gio running into the glass wall.
The jam is always
There we go!
Woo! Always funny. You never know what's gonna happen. It's on Tuesdays at 9. Murder Party was a lot of fun. I think everything about that.
I think when we opened Hedwig, I was pretty happy because it was the most involved I was with anything. That was kind of cool, the music and the opening and kind of the craziness of it all. So
I think being a robot, having metal parts and no emotions.
John snagged me from Las Vegas Little Theater, and I played the female sergeant in one of his first shows here in Las Vegas, and I kicked some major ass, and I've been with him ever since.
When I went to see Rambus, that was awesome.
Aww. Auditioning for Othello. It was so much bigger back then. Can I just say that? It was a lot bigger. I don't know how it shrunk to the size it is now, but I remember jogging to the end of the other side of this room was exhausting.
Improv jam. Seeing the beginning of it.
They cast me as a gay bouncer. That was my favorite.
Cannibal, when it first went up on the Onyx, at the Onyx, it was just good times, condensed in a canned form.
Teaching the robot moves because all of a sudden everybody's moving like robots, man. It's crazy.